I'm Danielle Kwateng, and I'm the executive editor at Teen Vogue. And in this role, I write, I edit, I manage my team, and I also do creative direction.
Why has Miami attracted so many people from other American cities?
I believe a lot of young people are attracted to living in Miami because it's a melting pot. It's a very diverse city already. It's a mix of Americans, people from Latinx countries, the Caribbean, and abroad. And so it's a already very culturally rich and diverse place, whether it be food or art. There's a lot to Miami that is just special and really a melting pot of cultures. And so it's a great place for young people to start their careers, to meet other people with similar interests, and to, launch their next thing.
Fashion is still about clothes and accessories, or is there more to come?
Fashion these days is more than just clothing and accessories. It's the way that we think of creative direction, whether it be real estate, art, city planning. I'm most excited at the ways that fashion is showing up with climate change and just agricultural and biodiverse ways that we can approach how we think of clothing and textiles. And so there's a lot of ways that you can go into different fields with a fashion mind. It's not just relegated to just clothing and accessories. There's much more to think about, and I'm excited to see young people approach those different areas of interest.
What are the steps involved in building a magazine from beginning to the end until the next issue is ready for distribution?
Building a fashion magazine or building an issue of a fashion magazine involves 3 groups of people: editorial, sales, and creative. And so there's a lot of steps that are involved with building an issue, but I like to think of it this way. What's the theme? What's the story that we want to tell? And then what parts or players need to be involved to make that happen? So for instance, if it's a September issue, you need to think about who the main talent is for the cover, and then additional stories within the book that are going to feed into that main cover story. Creative thinks about the visual storytelling, editorial thinks about the written word, and then sales basically funds all of it to make it happen. And so from beginning to end, it's a mix of planning, assigning, shoots are involved as well, but there's a lot of players that are a part of the process to get it to the end and get the issue out for everybody to read. I think a statement that represents me is an old church saying, which is, "To whom much is given, much is required." And I really feel like my job as an editor is to make sure that I give the platform and space for young writers and editors to tell their stories through a responsible lens, through an authentic lens, and through also visuals as well. And so in my role, particularly when it comes to creative direction, I'm thinking about all the parts that need to play involved to get something to be digestible for readers. And so it's a lot of responsibility, but I also take on the privilege of that work. It's a lot of time and intentional thinking behind creative direction in my role, but it's something I take very seriously and I'm very proud of.